Okay, so here's a closer look at the Warriors vest under some good natural neon lighting or daylight lighting tubes. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here on the patch, the rocker. Okay. One of the things I wanted to mention was, although I can't state officially that these are the original patches to this for sure original vest, what I can do is give my opinion, and my opinion is that they are indeed original to the original vest. And I think I'm going to post a link as well on the eBay listing demonstrating, showing an article that's on warriorsmovie.uk, something like that, when this vest and another one was purchased by the original consigner who gave them to Profiles in History to put up for auction in 2006, that of the two vests they had, this was the one and only that had the original patches still sewn on. The other vest did not. The patches had been removed shortly after production, and the consigner, then went and sought out the patent for the original patches and had perfect copy reproductions made for that other vest. And it's argued by some people that this is the case for this vest as well, but I'll post a link on the eBay listing for this vest that'll show an article saying that that's not the case, that this was actually, this vest, the Cochise vest, was actually the one and only of the two vests that had the patches still sewn on. Therefore, these are original patches. And another reason why I believe, let me just flip it here, that these are original patches is, let me show you the front, is because of, I'll show you the maker's label here too, zoom in a little bit to see the name Cochise handwritten in ink just above the label. It's very faded because, I mean, it's over 30 years old, and you could see a little bit the shoulders a little bit faded as well, and for sure the armpits faded from wear and tear during the production. All the buttons are still intact, nice and tight. Pockets are open, they're not sewn shut. There's an inside pocket, actually a couple inside pockets. There's one, two there, and here's another one here. So another reason why I believe that this vest has the original patches is if you look real closely at the sewing of the stitching of the rocker patch here on the inside of the vest, and you look real closely at the skull and wings stitching on the inside of the vest. Now I don't know if it's hard to tell from this little screen if I'm zooming in close enough. I'll zoom in a little more. You can see that the stitching is a one-time stitching. I mean, there's no parallel markings from previous stitching. There's no holes that have been, let me stabilize here. There's no holes that have been jumped, and I doubt very much that they would have reused the exact same holes perfectly all the way along if they would have put reproduction patches. Obviously the patches would have been perfect copies, but nevertheless it would have been hard to hold it in place and I guess reuse all the same holes. I don't know if it's done by hand or by machine, but you could clearly see that this is a one-time stitching. This is not, I mean, I'm not an expert, but this doesn't look to me like stitching that has been, put on, taken off, and put on again, restitched. This to me looks like original stitching, one-time stitching. Obviously the patches look dirty on the back. I'll flip it over again to have a better look. There we could clearly see the Cochise in black ink above the maker's label. That's the maker's label right there. They were all Eastgate vests. So, oops. So I'll flip it over. So yeah, clearly the patches are dirty, but I don't know if that's. I mean, if they're reproduction patches, they would have been aged. So that could have been, man-made, intentionally done. It's that in itself isn't an indication that these are original patches. And I've tried to screen match this vest according to the stains on the patches, and I haven't been able to. But it's a 30-something-year-old movie. It's when you watch it, for those who are fans, obviously, you watch it again, you'll realize it was shot a lot in at night. It was very grainy, old film, very grainy, and you don't get to see any close-ups or even see the patches very much from any close distance enough to see any kind of staining. So it's virtually impossible to screen match. I wasn't able to screen match this, and I don't know of any vest that exists. I know of 3 others that exist. I don't know of any that have been screen matched. So that's virtually impossible. But to own a piece of cinematic history such as this from such a classic movie, and to know it's authentic, as the vest is 100%. The patches to me is inconsequential. I mean, I believe they're real. I can't prove it, but whether they are or they're perfect reproductions that were aged, who cares? This is the original vest from the movie. I got documentation to back that up. COA from the auction house. It's got good provenance. I could back it up to not just the seller who put it up for auction that I bought it from, but to the original consigner who put it up for auction to 2006. I could backtrack it that far. And they apparently bought it directly from Universal, this and another vest. So the provenance is excellent. So I guess that's about it. Nothing else to say. Maybe zoom in a little bit more. I guess the last point would be to kind of look at this symmetry of the rocker, and even the skull and wings. If you look at the rocker, and you look at the seam line going down the middle of the vest, that you could compare to original certified, proven, authentic vests known to exist. Look at the second R in Warrior and its positioning in regards to the seam line, and you'll know for sure. And actually the type of lettering, I've seen some vests that people claimed that were originals, like the Swan vest for instance, that it looks so fake. It doesn't even look like the same lettering. The rocker itself has material sticking out from the seams, as though it wasn't properly cut before it was sewed on. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Whereas this, if you compare it to known, certified, authentic vests, the letters, the framing, the red framing around the rocker, everything looks authentic. So these are one of two things: absolutely authentic, original patches, or they are made from the original patent. So they're as close from the original one made for the movie. So they're as close as you're going to get to authentic, if they're not authentic, which I believe them to be. So that's it. That's a nice close look at the Warriors vest. This is really as close as I could get, as much as I can. This is the best I can show. So for all you skeptics, for all you people looking for something to justify or verify its originality, I don't know what else to show you. This is about as good as it gets. So for serious buyers, you could always contact me and make me a very good serious offer. Otherwise, I'll keep this. I'm in no hurry to sell it. I've owned it for a little over a year now. I'm very happy with it. It looks very good in my display with my other props and costumes. However, if there's somebody out there that really must have it, I'm definitely open to selling it, which is why I'm putting it on eBay. Thanks for tuning in.